Hi, everybody. Good Wednesday afternoon. Big travel day before Thanksgiving. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz, and I have a little bit of good news, but some not so great news. But if you've been outside already today, you know exactly what I'm talking about. 10 weather impact getting into your Wednesday evening, right through Wednesday night and Thursday night. We're going to keep the wind and the cold temperatures really howling. Be ready. Layers out there and be careful. Some of those higher profile vehicles might get a little bit squirrely on some of the interstates. Just give yourself some extra distance and extra time. There's not really a sense or threat of any rain or snow or ice, but that wind will be a bit of an issue. And the falling temperatures also might, again, want to pack that winter weather gear. So let's get you what's happening right now. Through the rest of the afternoon and into early tonight until 10 o'clock. In fact, the majority of central, northern, and western Ohio under a wind advisory. It's not quite a high wind watch or warning, but gusts up to 45 miles an hour, not out of the question. And as a testament to that, not just my recyclables, but my neighbor down the street garbage can was in the middle of the road. If that's the biggest problem we have, we're fine. But just know that the winds are going to continue at or above their current rate for the next several hours and even past dark. Now, the satellite radar for a brief second earlier today had a glimpse of some sunshine and blue sky. If you were out between about 8:30 and 8:45, that was about how tight that window was. But clearly, that's gone. That's headed toward West Virginia and Pennsylvania. And behind that, we are socked in with the low clouds. On top of that, we saw temperatures drop a bunch since yesterday and even since this morning. The temperature slide is going to slow down a little bit, and that's good news, but we also may see a passing flurry from some of those low clouds or a sprinkle. Downtown right now is exactly what you're seeing all over central Ohio. Overcast conditions as far as you can see. For the moment, we're not seeing any precipitation, and generally speaking, for the rest of your Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday, most of those days are going to be dry. Can't roll out a sprinkle or a flurry, but I'll get you those details in the next few minutes. Temperature right now, 39. Shave off 10 degrees. That's what it feels like outside at 29. That west-southwest wind, keep in mind the wind speed that we're showing here, that's the sustained wind. The gust, sustained wind 21 miles an hour, gusts easily 25, 30, 35 miles an hour at times. Current temperatures, we're watching that cold air almost covering the entire 10 TV viewing area. Colder, I should say. We're in the mid to upper 30s around Kenton, around Mount Gilead, and around Bucyrus, holding at 39 in Franklin County. Low 40s and holding on just by a hair to 47 degrees in Athens, but they too will fall. Everybody's seeing the 40s, 30s, and the 20s. And again, when you look at how things started off, that temperature change even 24 hours ago was considerably milder to the tune of 10 to 15, almost 20 degrees. And when you join us again this evening at 4, 5, and 6 o'clock on 10 TV, you are going to see these numbers actually increase because by then we're going to see an even larger temperature difference in that 24-hour span. But as I said, that temperature slide is going to slow down a little bit, thankfully, as we go through tonight into tomorrow. That being said, just losing about 10 more degrees or so will put us into the mid-20s tomorrow morning. When you factor in the wind, it will not be quite as windy as it is now, but we're going to call it a brisk, invigorating Thanksgiving morning. It's going to feel like temperatures are in the teens for the most part as we go through the start of your Thursday morning. Only silver lining, if we try and find one here, is that we're not looking at much, if anything, in the way of flurries or any precipitation that should keep you. But this 20-degree, 15, 18-degree wind chill on Thanksgiving morning is going to be a little bit rough, especially as we'll talk about in a minute. You might be doing those turkey trots or those flying 4-milers. Looking at the wind gust for tomorrow, again, today 30, 35, 40. Tomorrow still gusting over 20 miles an hour, but generally that's the direction things are going in. Not just for Wednesday to Thursday, but Thursday to Friday, Friday to Saturday. Each one of those time periods will see those winds being reduced just a bit as a little bubble of area of high pressure settles in, giving us some clear skies and some sunshine, but also a bit of a break from the wind. Tomorrow afternoon, remember we showed those morning temperatures in the 20s. These are the top temperatures. So like I've done many past Thanksgivings, if you're really clamoring for some extra freezer space, there it is. You've got the entire southern part of the state that is going to be at or very close to that freezing mark. Certainly refrigerator temperatures for everybody, but I wouldn't leave it outside too long. It's going to be frozen solid by the time you wake up on Friday morning, so eat those leftovers while you can. One of the things we talked about, kind of a tradition on Thanksgiving, we've got the Flying Feather 4-miler. That is in Dublin. We've got turkey trots all over central Ohio. It's going to be a little brisk and a little cloudy. Stretching out, very, very important. Even if you're just walking 3 or 4 miles, you want to make sure you limber up properly. 9 o'clock start for many of those runs. 32 degrees, feels like about 20. Heading home, no real change. Almost a very consistent, albeit cold forecast for 7, 8, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and then get back home and you can start feasting. You gained all that calorie credit during the morning. Now, hour by hour forecast on Thursday starts off with some dry conditions, and it should mostly stay that way. As we've talked about, though, and we will continue to talk about getting into winter, many times the closer you are to the Great Lakes, meaning areas north of I-70, a better chance of tapping into a little bit of available moisture until those lakes get frozen, therefore a few more clouds. South of I-70, generally speaking, by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, you might capture a bit of sun. As we go through the day, that difference becomes even a bit more pronounced. Thursday at noon, much of areas in southern Ohio, Circleville, Washington Courthouse, Chillicothe, Logan, and down toward Piketon and even Athens, looking for a pretty afternoon tomorrow, but a pretty cold one too. North of that, including Columbus and everywhere up toward Lake Erie, is going to be rather socked in with clouds and maybe a passing flurry there. We'll brighten the skies a bit on Thursday evening and Thursday night and hopefully keep it that way. The other thing we're watching, and something else that happens this time of the year getting into winter, are these lake effect snow showers and streamers. Sometimes we catch one from Lake Michigan that can be a bit of an issue. I don't think we're going to see that happening, but just notice what's looking like some snow showers on Friday at 6:30 a.m. We're watching that little area around Kenton beginning to work from northwest to southeast. It does line up a little bit around Marion, over around Mount Gilead, into the east near Coshocton, whereas Delaware, Columbus, Newark, Lancaster, everybody south of that for your Friday midday plans are going to be just fine. Second half of the Friday does show any of the snow showers dissipating as the winds relax just a bit. And Friday evening, while it will be cold as tomorrow, in fact, it will be bright. And we'll enjoy that sunshine carrying into your Friday night and into Saturday morning. Then we're tracking some more changes. Speaking of which, some of you might be making that trip up, or maybe you have a vested interest in the weather at that game in Ann Arbor at the Big House. Of course, a noon kickoff, as it always is. If you're traveling, I don't see any real problems getting there. Might have a couple of challenges getting back 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon and the evening. Temperatures will be right around 30 degrees, so whatever your team color is, scarlet and gray, hopefully take it up there and probably add an extra layer. Even with 110,000 people packed into there, it's still going to be a little bit chilly, and we may see some light accumulating snow. So let's go hour by hour, starting Saturday morning. Latest models have been trending or consistent in keeping things dry to start off your Saturday. Middle part of Saturday, we're not seeing any real problems. We'll see a few more clouds on Saturday afternoon, but it looks like the area of snow coming in quickly will be mainly shunted off to the northwest at 5 o'clock. And that area, of course, heading toward northern Indiana, northwest Ohio, and southern Michigan. So if you're dallying around Ann Arbor through the afternoon, you might be dealing with some issues coming back home. That area of snow showers does lift off toward the north by about 10 o'clock. Then watch what happens. Fortunately, most of this mess is going to be overnight. We will see some snow moving in, light accumulation, not out of the question by Sunday morning, but it quickly is replaced by the time you wake up, so just sleep until 8 o'clock, by a mix and then changing over to all rain. So it'll be more of a slop storm and a rainy start to your Sunday. I'm telling you right now, you might be tired of comfort food after Thanksgiving. A good problem to have, but plan your crock pot dinner for Sunday now so that you're ready Sunday morning, can just sit back and relax. This is the kind of weather we're talking about Sunday at noon. All the snow and the frozen stuff is gone, just some plain rain showers. And as we get closer, this is still painting with a pretty broad brush. 4 or 5 days out, these models are still a little bit rough around the edges, a little bit broad. So as we get closer to Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we'll be able to fine-tune this forecast. But just know, if you're traveling on Sunday, maybe you're trying to drive somewhere or somebody's driving back, mainly rain during the daylight hours. Now, after dark Sunday, the cold air is going to wrap back around as that system exits. This is normally the situation that system will take most of the moisture with it. So a blustery Sunday night, a blustery Monday, leftover snow showers, not out of the question there. Look at the 7-day forecast. We've got some varieties, and then eventually things do begin to head in the right direction temperature-wise. Tomorrow, not the case. We'll see temperatures holding in the 30s. Friday, 34. That's a little colder than tomorrow after starting off in the 20s. Not quite as windy on Friday, and a little brighter skies. Saturday, clouding up fast, but for the most part, we're dry. I do think while we might see some mess or mix Saturday night into Sunday morning, Most of us will see just plain rain showers on Sunday, high of 42. We do dial it back a bit. You saw that system exiting, some snow showers getting into your Monday, and probably a mix on Tuesday before we change things over to a majority of a cold rain on Wednesday. So there's a detailed look at what you're dealing with for today on Wednesday, what we'll be dealing with together on Thursday. And I do not think that the weather is going to keep you from spending some great time with family and friends. And that's the same for Friday and Saturday too. Might have a couple of issues in terms of some wet weather on Sunday. So if you have a chance to travel on Saturday, probably a better idea to do that. And of course, coming up tonight during the 4, 5, 6 o'clock and 11 o'clock news, we're going to continue to get information in. And as we do get new information, we're going to share it right back out to you so that as the situation becomes clear to us, we're going to let you know. Big weekend coming up for Thanksgiving, for Black Friday, for the game on Saturday in Michigan, and a big travel day on Sunday. And then we're all back to work and school next Monday and into Tuesday as well. So all the details, I'll see you this afternoon in a couple hours at 4 o'clock. Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday edition of the Weather Impact Show.